That was our political analyst, Brian Sobel. Brian, what a night. We've heard words like train wreck, waste of time, circus. At the end of the day, what was gained from the debate tonight, especially the way President Trump behaved? I honestly found myself wondering at one point, what's the point of even having two more debates if this is the kind of thing that we're going to get?
Well, Frank, it was out of control at the end of the day. It reminded me of one of these World Wrestling Foundation or boxing prelims where the fighters are going at each other and yelling and calling each other names. And in the middle, there's one guy trying to have some order on the stage. And that was Chris Wallace, the moderator. And I think it was a very tough night for Chris Wallace.
Brian, I think everyone would agree tonight was painful to watch. You could describe it as tumultuous. There was so much arguing, talking over one another, interrupting, name-calling. But the big question, did it change any minds?
It's a good question, and the answer is, for people that support Joe Biden, no change. For people who support Donald Trump, no change. For any number of people, and it's a very small margin, Julie, that are in the middle, perhaps because of Joe Biden's, I think, good performance tonight, much better than people predicted, maybe he gains the advantage there.
Brian, President Trump was asked specifically, as was Joe Biden, if they would condemn white supremacists. Instead, President Trump said they should stand down and stand by. Why would he not take the opportunity there to condemn white supremacy?
For the same reason, Frank, that I think that Joe Biden wouldn't talk about tax support. I think they both went into this debate with two or three things they weren't going to answer. And it's inexplicable why you wouldn't say that white supremacists are a problem. On the other hand, you had Joe Biden talking about Antifa being an idea. Antifa is a very organized thing here in the United States. So both of these candidates, Frank, came in with very specific things they wanted to accomplish. But in the middle of it was just a circus broke out.
Yeah, there's so much at stake in this election. There are so many important issues to talk about. Not a lot of substance tonight, but Brian, looking back over that very chaotic 90 minutes, what would you say was the high point for each candidate, and what was the most uncomfortable or lowest point for each candidate?
Well, I think for Donald Trump, the president, his discussion of law enforcement was really on point for what Donald Trump believed. And I think for Joe Biden, I think he went into the debate, Julie, having to prove that he looked presidential and that he was competent. And I think that was his main goal tonight. Specifics were a little lacking by both of them, frankly. But I think they both, from their own perspectives, probably did okay. There were very uncomfortable moments. I think when the president went after Joe Biden on his son, that was very uncomfortable moments in the debate. And I think the white supremacist piece of it and the other issues that Biden was able to lay on Donald Trump were uncomfortable for Donald Trump. At the end of the day, they both had a couple of highlights and a lot of, frankly, lowlights. And I think part of the problem was the structure of the debate. There was not a real rebuttal period because they were too busy attacking each other, and they wouldn't allow the other person really to say something. And by the way, Trump was more egregious in this department. He was on the attack from the minute he walked out on the stage. And I don't think, to be perfectly honest, that he was quite as prepared as Joe Biden was.
Well, let's just hope that the vice presidential debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris next week is a bit more civil, and hopefully we can get more information out of that.
Brian, Frank,
go ahead.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, Brian, thank you so much. As always, we're going to leave it there.
Absolutely.